So if you're Vlad Guerrero, no one's going to wake up happier this morning than Vlad. All of a sudden, he made himself probably another 100 million, if not more, just by looking at what happened to Soto.
We're going to have some good action the next few days. Bob Nightengale from USA Today joining us right now on Foul Territory and probably working the phones. So, Bob, we appreciate the time during the busy time period.
Bob doesn't have any contacts. Only in Minnesota does Bob have any contacts, okay?
Bob was unveiling a lot of good Soto details yesterday. So, Bob, great to have you on. You want to give us some of those details and why you think this ultimately led to this route for the Mets and for Soto?
Well, I mean, nobody thought the money was going to get this high. You thought, okay, maybe 500 million, 550. What if someone had offered Soto right when the free agency started, fine for 600 million right now? I bet they would have taken it. Hey, Otani's a different animal. He's worth every penny. We'll see about this one. But it's staggering. This thing could be worth $805 million. Soto's got a buyout for 5 years. So if the Mets don't increase it by $4 million a year for the next 10 years after that, he can opt out. If they exercise that, that makes the contract $805 million. So all of a sudden now we've gone from a $400 million player in Trout. We have no $500 million player, no $600 million player, and two $700 million players. Obviously got no trade clause and all that. The big, $50 million signing bonus, and no deferrals. So where Otani's is knocked down to about 460, this is worth every penny of 765.
Bob, first of all, you obviously don't watch our show because I said, was it last week? What he's going to get is going to shock people. So you need to tune in more, Bob, okay? Get out of the ballroom you're in, sitting with all your friends, and tune into Foul Territory. Because I said it on here that what Soto was going to get was going to shock people for AAV, for years, everything. And he set the record for all of them. So I don't know if he's worth it. He got what the Mets. And listen, the other thing was there was more than what hit just the Mets in on this. The Yankees were in on this. The Red Sox were in this. And I heard there was a team that was even maybe willing to go to 17 years for this guy. So, I mean, how well this plays down the line, I don't know. But right now, Mets fans be happy. Juan Soto, Scott Boras, you guys deserve a ton of credit.
Well, we're in the same hotel where the A-Rod contract was, and people freaked out that night. Sandy Alderson was working for the commissioner's office. He was blasting Boras, everybody. Every owner was going nuts. That didn't happen last night. People were still kind of raising their eyebrows. But, hey, we're in the same hotel as A-Rod, same hotel as Manny Ramirez contract, Mike Hampton contract, Albert Pujols contract. So if you want to have a big contract, you got to do it right here. So if you're Vlad Guerrero, no one's going to wake up happier this morning than Vlad. All of a sudden, he made himself probably another 100 million, if not more, just by looking at what happened to the Soto deal.
Hey, Bob, there are a lot of angry Yankees fans right now, right? They all wanted him, but now that he's gone, they're all pissed off. What do the Yankees do next? What if you know anything of, is their plan B now that they've shown that they're willing to go up to 760? Like Scotty said, that doesn't mean that you can go spend that all right now. That's not how this works. But what is their contingency plan?
I think they're better off spreading the money around. I really do. It's a blessing in disguise. If I'm the Yankees, I go grab Christian Walker right now from Arizona Diamondbacks. Fabulous first baseman, great clubhouse leader, 3-time Gold Glove winner. Go get a third baseman, whether you're training for Alec Bohm from Philly, whether you're signing a Bregman, something like that. You can grab Cody Bellinger for the Cubs for nothing, as long as you take his contract. You can go get a starter, whether it's Max Fried or Corbin Burns, and you're still going to have money that you'd have to spend for Soto. I think they're better off spreading that money around. I really do. And also the big thing is now you can move Judge back to right field. If you had got Soto, Judge is still in center field, is a big man, he wears down. I think that would have been a mistake.
Hey, I want to also follow with this. You just mentioned Alex Bregman, and I know a lot of Yankees fans are still upset about 2017. But when you watch the Yankees lineup, when you watch them offensively, defensively, do you think that could be possibly a really good fit when you talk about a guy like Alex Bregman? I know it's not Minute Maid, but he's always put the ball in play. He's always defensively made the plays he's supposed to make. I think it could be a great fit when you look at the holes that they've had. How do you look at that fit?
That's the one thing I worry about Cam is just he doesn't have that same ballpark. The Minute Maid with the Crawford box. He's not going to hit those home runs. He still puts the ball in play. He's a gamer. I don't think the playing in New York will bother him at all pressure-wise. So I like him a lot. He's a gamer. 2017 was a long time ago. let's be honest, we're really naive, but we think the Houston Astros were the only team doing that. They just happened to get caught. They had a whistleblower. The other 6, 7 teams doing the same thing. They get caught.
Hey, Bob, let's go to the Mets side. Okay, they got Soto, but how do you power rank the top few teams in the NL East? And if the Mets are lower than they should be, what else do they need to do this offseason?
They still got to get some more pitching. They still got to do some other things. And this was a Steve Cohen deal. I'm not sure it was a David Stearns deal. I think this, I can't see Pete Alonso coming back. If you're Pete Alonso, you're saying to Scott Boras, really, you had to get every single dollar from the Mets? There's not enough money for me. I would be in the market too for Christian Walker. You can get him for at least half the price of Alonso, if not more. But you need some pitching. I like moving Vientos to first base if they find a third baseman. So maybe they could be after Bregman themselves.
What about pitching? Who's going to pitch, Bob? They need somebody that can throw the ball. I mean, Senga, yes, but Senga's supposed to be back, right? They're counting on Clay Holmes. Look at their projected starting rotation. Huh?
Montas, David Peterson. They got a lot of guys to get. Yeah.
I mean, those guys are good, right? But for me, the Mets still need some pitching and also need some bullpen help.
Oh, big time. I mean, they could sign Corbin Burns, but that's going to cost you, well in the 200s. I still think Burns ends up with San Francisco Giants. Max Fried's out there. I still think the Red Sox would be much more aggressive for Fried and grab him. But, yeah, they need much more pitching. And, they're still on the outside looking in. When you look at the Philadelphia Phillies, when you look at Atlanta, I think right now, they're still, probably the third best team in that division.
Bob, you mentioned Vladdy Jr. Can you give us any insight on why the Blue Jays can't land their their type of big guy that they're trying to land? Like, what's going on in Toronto where they can't get that guy?
I mean, they should. I mean, they were all in on, they were bidding over $700 million as well as the Red Sox. The Dodgers were never, close to that. But the other three teams were with the Mets. I don't know if guys worry about the tax dollars playing in a foreign country. But you talk to guys that play in Toronto, they love it. Everybody lives close to the ballpark, a close-knit community, great stadium. Spring training is as good as any in all of baseball. So it's almost like you got to be there to appreciate it. It's too bad. This is a big year for them. With Vlad being a free agent a year, with Bo Bichette being a free agent, they got to win right now, or I think some heads may roll.
Bob, there's one free agent out there that hit 40-plus home runs, has been doing it for a couple years. Anthony Santander. No one's talking about him. What's a good landing spot? You already talked about Fried, you talked about Burns, Christian Walker, Pete Alonso. But what's a spot for Santander?
I think the Blue Jays are a perfect spot for him, AJ. They can overpay him. They got all the money. I mean, nobody took the money from Ohtani. Nobody took the money here for Soto. So they still got, $700 million burning their pockets. So I would jump all over him. There's no reason why they shouldn't blow everybody out of the water for Santander and, pay him maybe $30 million more than anybody else is. So I think he's a perfect fit here. He's a perfect guy for that place.
Holiday shopping gets hectic. Why don't you let America's #1 meal kit help you out? HelloFresh has over 50 recipes to choose from each week. They pre-portion the ingredients and then ship them right to your doorstep.
If you're looking to fit a specific lifestyle, HelloFresh features preferences like fit and wholesome, quick and easy, or a vegetarian option for you too.
HelloFresh helps you eat healthier and stress less about how you're getting the ingredients and ideas for that perfect home-cooked meal.
In many parts of the country, it's cold out, so skip the hassle and snuggle up next to your phone or your computer and pick out your favorite recipes. Then let HelloFresh handle the planning, the shopping, and most of the prep. It's easier than ever to get dinner on the table quick and painless. We've made many of these recipes ourselves, and they are delicious. Trust me.
Get 10 free meals at HelloFresh.com/free-FT. Applied across 7 boxes. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's 10 free HelloFresh meals just by going to HelloFresh.com/free-FT.
Hey, Bob, so it doesn't look like he's going to go back to Baltimore as they sign up Tyler O'Neill. I mean, that's one that's going to get kind of swept under the rug when all of this other news has popped up over the last few days. But what did you think about the Orioles signing him and Gary Sanchez? And I mean, I know obviously they wanted a guy to crush lefties, but ultimately it doesn't look like they're also going to sign someone like Santander when they've got quite a few position players. I feel like Santander made a massive impact on that team, and he was really the guy everyone looked to, and of course the big power bat. But do you like their plan?
Well, I think with O'Neill, they weren't going to get him unless they moved the fences in, so that worked. I mean, that appeased to him. Gary Sanchez, okay. It's not like a everyday catch or anything like that. He'll help a little bit. But it's funny. I mean, here's a new owner, David Rubenstein. Usually the new owners come in and make a big splash. I still think they'll be more aggressive. They got to have some moves because they embarrassed themselves at the trade deadline last year, but not doing more. And even though they have great young players, great young prospects, the window's starting to close a little bit. You got to do what the Houston Astros did. They did the same thing, losing 110 games a year, but then they went out, and got Garrett Cole, got a Justin Verlander, and started winning. It's time for the Orioles to make a big move here.
Okay, speaking of a guy the Orioles maybe should have made a move for. We all know, Bob, you have the inside scoop with Jerry Reinsdorf. So where's he going to trade Garret Crochet, and how many top 100 prospects are they going to get back?
I still think he goes to Philadelphia Phillies. They were the most aggressive trade. They like him a lot, love him. It's kind of sad. You want Bohm, you want Crawford, Carl Crawford's son. It's going to take more than that. They don't really want Bohm. They'll take Crawford. Hey, they need to win too. Hey, that window's closing for them. Guys are about to leave in free agency. Schwarber's a free agent. Real Muto's a free agent. So they would love to get the Baltimore Orioles involved, but so far the Orioles really have not done it. They were hoping to get the Dodgers involved, but now the Dodgers, got their starter already in Snell, so they don't really need Crochet. Crochet is going to bring back the best package of prospects of anybody out there right now.
Bob, why wouldn't the Red Sox be involved, or do you think they are involved for a guy like this? Because I think they need 2 starters, pay for one, and trade for another in Crochet who barely costs anything and could be a number 1.
No, they could easily. It's got to give up the prospects. I think they have to. It doesn't seem like that they don't have that urgency to win right now. Where I think in Philadelphia they do. I think they're kind of embarrassed a little bit. They haven't won that World Series yet. Knock on the door, but they've struggled in crunch time. So I think the Red Sox will definitely be bidding on him. Not a whole lot of people are. They don't want to send their prospects, but White Sox are very motivated to move them and begging someone to take Luis Robert as long as they get some prospects back too. Maybe somebody makes a package deal.
So, Bob, you mentioned Philly, and I want to stay in Boston. A lot of talks about Tristan Casas being traded. Is that a possible deal when you talk about Crochet, maybe Luis Roberts, a package there? Like, what are you hearing about Tristan Casas?
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly available in trades. And the White Sox need people who aren't making any money at all. You can have control for 6 years. That's the beauty about dumping Luis Robert, making $15 million right now. They do have 2 $20 million option years on him. So if he has a good year, at least a team that gets him can keep him if they want. But no, I think the Red Sox are certainly motivated, and I think they'll spend some money. I think Max Fried ends up there. You can't talk the big game like they have all winter long, strike out on Soto, and stop. So I'd be shocked if they don't make some big free agent moves.
Staying here, I got to ask you this question. What are the Red Sox going to do? I know, listen, they need a right-handed bat. And everybody you talk to around Boston says we need some right-handed power. Even their prospects are left-handed. So where do they find this right-handed bat? Is it Teoscar Hernandez? They had O'Neill. They let him go. He was a big right-handed power guy. But where do they find right-handed power? Because at Fenway Park, Bob, you need Manny Ramirez. You need a right-handed power guy to hit the ball over the green monster. Pete Alonso in play if they trade Casas. Is Christian Walker in play if they trade Tristan Casas?
Walker's a great player. I like him a lot. He'd be great there. And Teoscar Hernandez. I mean, if you're Teoscar Hernandez, your price tag went up with that Soto deal. You're talking to his agent the other day. They weren't close to a deal with the Dodgers. You talked about, a 3-year deal worth about, $65, $75 million, but that hasn't come to fruition yet. So I think the price tag goes up on him. And I think, he's such a great clubhouse guy, too. The Dodgers absolutely love him. He was as popular as anybody in that entire team.
Bob, last one for you. So I think it was last week's notes column maybe, and encourage everyone to check them out in USA Today. You wrote about the Bellinger market and how the Cubs were trying to talk, what was it, the Yankees into, who was it? There was a certain trade, now I'm forgetting. Was it Montgomery, right?
Yeah, I mean, Montgomery's with the Diamondbacks. Well, pretty much the Diamondbacks say, hey, you want Montgomery, we'll take Bellinger. Bellinger lives in Scottsdale, grew up in Arizona, and Cubs weren't interested in that. Cubs just want to kind of dump the contract, and then maybe they can swim in a bigger free agent markets for some pitching. So I think Bellinger would be perfect for the Yankees. Play, obviously very good defensive at center field, first base. Hey, it's a lot of money, but it's only a 1-year contract, 2 years maximum. And if the Yankees are going to throw $7 or $60 million at Soto, why not spend $50 million here on Bellinger? I think it's a great fit, and I think the Yankees will be smart about this. I think the Yankees might be better off the fact they didn't get Soto and can fill more needs. It's like, hey, all they have to do is look at the San Diego Padres. If you ask the Padres, wait a minute now, why were you guys such a better team last year without Soto than you were with him? So the Yankees could think the same thing. You know what? Let's capitalize on this.
Yeah, and they can move Judge to the corner now, too, which I think is a much, much, much better fit for many reasons, including his health.
I've been screaming that. Got to get him out of center field.
Yep.
I know. I'm with you. We've been saying it all year. Well, Bob, thank you so much for joining us. Everyone, of course, check out Bob's work in USA Today. Give him a follow if you don't already. He's got plenty of them. Bob, thank you. Enjoy the meetings.
Thanks, Cap. Thanks, AJ. See you, Cam.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.